Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a decision that typically takes months narrowed down to just days. Douglas County fast-tracks its superintendent search.
The move is causing controversy. I'm Denver 7's Colette Bordelon live with the timeline ahead of the school board's special meeting today.
It's a Denver 7 Weather Action Day. Snow is on the way. It's going to get heavier during the commute, and snow totals have gone up. We're expecting around 4 to 8 inches in and around Denver. We'll take a closer look at how heavy it's going to be in spots coming up.
Plus, a new way to warn against wildfires.
Any ability we can to get ahead of a wildfire for the first time in Colorado history, we need to.
The special sensors one Colorado County is testing to give us an earlier alert.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. As officials work to prevent another tragedy like the Marshall Fire, there's 2 new resources now available for victims trying to restart their lives.
Well, today it's the Denver 7 Weather Action Day, and we are already starting to see moisture moving into the high country. This is a live look from Steamboat Springs. This will be heading our way down here in the metro later, and it could create a messy drive home for you this afternoon. Here's a look at Futurecast and the winter storm heading our way. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Brian Sanders. Good morning to you. We have a winter storm warning in effect this afternoon. Steamboat, I'm sure, is loving it, but we want to get right over to meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo because the timing and the amount for the metro could be a mess for the drive home, picking up the kids from school, you name it.
Yeah, I'm already trying to get our gym to cancel gymnastics tonight because I don't want to drive in it this evening. We're looking at low 30s and some sunshine this morning. It looks pretty out there. By about 4 o'clock, though, it's going to be snowing. So if you want to get the dog out for a walk, I would do it earlier today. Take a look at the timing of this. And again, spots like Fort Collins, Longmont, Estes Park, that's where we're going to see some of that snow first. And it's going to happen by, it looks like, late morning, right around 11 to about 12 o'clock. We'll start to see some snow there along I-25 from Longmont north up into the, Wyoming, up into Wyoming as you get over the border there. Here in town, it's going to be likely right around 3 to about 4 o'clock that we're going to start to see that snow ramp up. Winter storm warning goes into effect at 2 o'clock. And here in town, it's going to make for a slick commute tonight and tomorrow morning. When it comes to totals, Denver right now is looking at around 4 to 8 inches of snow in the foothills, up to a foot, and heaviest through the evening commute. We'll take a closer look at the timing when it clears out and more of those totals coming up.
This is Lisa, Gymnastics. Hello. Do you know what I do for a living?
I did. I actually texted her and I said, I don't think you should cancel tomorrow night.
There you go. Right now we have I-25 up to the north of the Colorado-Wyoming state line. You can see the traffic is moving along just fine for now, but obviously the weather is on the way, as Lisa was talking about, but the drive on I-25 along the front range looks okay. Take a look at the map. We have a problem out to the east side of town. It's going to be right over here at Aspen and Mississippi, right there at the entrance, is that south entrance to Buckley, and so it is causing delays here right there at Tower Road and Mississippi, so we do have some delays, unfortunately, with that crash in there. Let me take you to the camera at 225 and Parker Road, where again it looks just fine. No issues with the light rail. I've seen a few buses with no operators available today. Just double check your route with RTD's website. You can see the rest of the drive times look just fine. Denver Tech Center, I-70, that north side, not seeing any problems, weather-related issues just yet.
And as we move throughout the day, you can always get the latest weather and traffic information by downloading the Denver 7 Plus app to your device. We have a 24/7 weather stream, an interactive radar, and an hour-by-hour forecast there. It is free for Roku, Amazon, Apple, and Android devices.
The Douglas County School Board will hold a special meeting tonight to discuss the search for a new superintendent.
Yeah, controversial topic after the conservative majority voted to suddenly fire Corey Wise as superintendent. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us this morning because, Colette, here we are 12 days later, and the board is already talking about a replacement.
That's right, and that process all starts today. The board is hoping to be voting on their final candidates by next Thursday. So in total, they're hoping this whole interview process only takes a little more than a week. At the special meeting this afternoon, they'll be presenting the timeline after public comment. They'll be discussing the job description, salary, and interview questions. Right now, they have 20 questions planned. One of the first ones is regarding the financial situation of the district. Another, if pay should be tied to performance. Plus, what are the most critical issues impacting students? And the salary, it's 6 figures in the $200,000 range, but the maximum breaks that $300,000. From there, they'll post the job tomorrow internally for district staff to apply. Next Tuesday, they want to be discussing the applicants and deciding which candidates they'll interview. And in Thursday's special meeting, those interviews should be happening along with public comment and a vote on the finalists. But Even if the board makes a quick decision, they can't make a final employment offer until sharing the list of finalists publicly for 2 weeks. That's a rule from the Colorado Association of School Boards. And after that timeline is over, the school board says there will be a chance for people to express their opinions about the people they've selected. Students, parents, staff, they can all form their different forums to give them an avenue to do that. And of course, constituents, they can write in their thoughts over email or could sign up for public comments at a future meeting. Live in Douglas County, Club Bordelon, Denver 7.
There's also public comment tonight, and it could get heated. Board member Susan Meek posted on Facebook asking if 1 week is feasible to be voting on superintendent finalists. Her post has nearly 200 comments from people, many saying 1 week is not enough time. Typically, superintendent searches take months. For some context here, last year, 5 metro area school districts replaced their superintendents. It took more than 6 months for Denver Public Schools to name Alex Marrero. Jeffco Schools took more than 8 months to select Tracy Dorland. Cherry Creek promoted existing Chief of Staff Christopher Smith to the top job, so that one only took 2 months. Poudre School District hired Brian Kingsley from North Carolina after looking for 5 months, and even in Douglas County, it took more than 7 months to hire Corey Wise, and he was already acting superintendent. One potential benefit of a short search process is the cost. Months-long searches can cost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of course, we'll follow the Douglas County search process for you every step of the way.
Right now, there are new escalations from overnight as Russia takes another step towards a possible war with Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry released video of tanks they say are being transported away from areas near the border. But U.S. intelligence questions that and sees no evidence it's actually happening. Instead, sources say Russian troops are actually moving into firing positions. Meanwhile, Ukraine's cybersecurity agency says a massive attack has crashed its Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces websites, as well as 2 of its largest banks.
Tomorrow marks 7 weeks since the devastating Marshall Fire swept through Superior and Louisville.
There's been a big focus to make sure another tragedy like it never happens again. So this morning we're taking an in-depth look at a new fire alert sensor in the works. Also, the proposals lawmakers are making this legislative session, how you can sign up for emergency alerts, and 2 new resources available to Marshall Fire victims. First, the Marshall Fire taught us that every second counts when you're trying to evacuate. Gilpin County, just west of the metro, is announcing a pilot program to test out wildfire sensors today. N5's wildfire detection system detects heat and other air quality changes.
As we saw with the Marshall Fire, how quickly that fire spread. In dry climate and drought areas of the county, we would have the same issues and concerns that we would need to be able to respond efficiently and quickly to take care of that fire.
Acting just like a tsunami.
So while conducting a test, a pile actually reignited in the evening. The sensors alerted county officials 36 minutes before the first 911 call came in. Gilpin County plans to start with 16 to 20 sensors, but they're working on funding to buy 150 to 200 of them.
Right now, state lawmakers are working on several wildfire-related bills. One would create a grant program to help landowners and counties with wildfire mitigation work. It would also have money for wildfire recovery. Another bill would offer incentives for local governments to do mitigation work and forest management. No matter where you live, the best way to know about any emergency in your county is to sign up for emergency alerts. There are different systems that are used throughout the metro, but most of them automatically call landlines. So if you want them to call your cell phone, you do have to sign up. We have links to all of the metro counties on the denverchannel.com and our Denver 7 app. And while we look to prevent the next disaster, Marshall Fire victims are still just trying to get by.
There are now 2 important resources for them. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is live in our studio this morning because there's a new online donation platform that will allow the community to connect.
There is, and it's called DART. It's a really important resource, getting direct assistance over to people who are still feeling the impacts of the Marshall Fire. So let's run you through how it works and really what it looks like. Also, members of the public, they can use this portal to offer donations, goods, and services. Donors do have to fill out this registration form that you see right here on your screen, input descriptions of goods and quantities of donations. After that, some of those vetted organizations who have access to the portal, they can claim the donations. And right now, only offers of donated goods and services are on the DART platform, but in a few weeks, we're going to start seeing some of those organizations on there that have the ability to claim donations on behalf of residents in need. And then, of course, there is some more help being offered right now as well, this time to those who were displaced because their home or their business was impacted by smoke or ash damage. Those who qualify, they could get $2,500 for a household of 1 to 2 people and $5,000 for a household of 3 or more people. Documentation of displacement because of that smoke or ash damage that is required. If you're interested in applying for this, you can do so through the Boulder County website. We have that and the DART platform linked over on thedenverchannel.com. In studio, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
It is now 6:10. It's a Denver 7 weather action day. This morning, the commute's going to be great. In fact, sunshine out there early on for the morning drive. And then this afternoon, we'll see increasing clouds and a winter storm warning that goes into effect at 2 o'clock this afternoon. In effect until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. It covers the entire metro area. Heavy snow is going to be falling later today. We'll take a closer look at how much we're expecting by early tomorrow coming up.
And just like yesterday, we just had a crash on southbound I-25 at 84th. But unlike yesterday, it cleared within about 1 minute. So we do still have a little bit of a traffic jam that you can see coming down from the Thornton Parkway, but unlike yesterday, the traffic jam is not back to 128th Avenue, so still a little bit more congestion on that trip to downtown from the north side.
Well, here in just a few days, 3G networks, remember those, will start to disappear. The move impacts more than just your old phone, too.
Another example of Colorado's hot housing market, the Metro City named one of the most expensive in the entire country. And to save you a little money, a great way to try out some Denver restaurants is Restaurant Week. We'll have the list coming out and how you can start planning today coming up.